Welcome back to the garage. Another question and answer time with your old pal, John. Thank you guys for your questions. Obviously, I didn't do this video last week just because I was out of town. So this week is a couple questions that I got in the last 2 weeks. But seriously, ask your questions. I love answering them. I love trying to figure out whatever you guys are thinking. Some of them are easy, some of them are more difficult. Today I didn't get as many funny comments as last time, unfortunately, so we won't laugh in this video at nearly as much. Pack West on YouTube commented, you mentioned that you're going to build your Bronco with the intention of selling it, but you didn't really have much of an idea about the direction as far as its looks, color, cut, uncut. Since you started this build series, can we assume you've made up your mind on some of those things, taking it into consideration that you're trying to get the best ROI? If so, would you mind sharing your vision? Good question. And if you have your question answered, I would love to send you some swag, some stickers, something like that. So shoot me an email. What's my email? NashvilleEarlyBronco@gmail. Pack West, yes. I have some idea. So if you haven't been watching the podcast, Donnie and I are doing a podcast. My tub is in his shop. And so you can see my tub there in the background. So I'm going uncut. So that's number one. Color, I don't know what color yet that I'm going with. So that's number two. Lift, I did a 2.5-inch suspension lift, and I'm going to go with a 1-inch body lift. That's what I'm running right now, but I'm going to go with 33-inch tires, and because uncut, I want to keep it uncut. So 33s, and then probably have to go with a skinnier wheel or tire. Right now I have 12.5, and that sticks out 2 inches-ish on each side, an inch and a half. My Bronco's over there, so I'm checking her out. What else? Engine-wise, not going Coyote, but still thinking 302 with an EFI. And I think Donnie is actually going to help me build my 302. So that'll be cool. Yeah. Any other questions? Let me know. I figured out some other stuff. 4-wheel disc brakes. That's what I'm working on now. So yeah. So let me know. Let me know if you have any more questions about the build that is behind me. I'm sitting in my new back seat for my 75. I've never had a back seat before, and so I've been looking for one, and big shout out to Mr. Eric Wilkinson, however you spell his name. He found this for me up in Michigan, picked it up, had it shipped to me, not to me, but to his cousin or brother, pretty close by. So I just got all the stuff from Tom's to rebuild this, so I'm going to do that. So Eric, thank you. And if you guys are looking for a back seat, Eric would love to ship one to you, so you should definitely message him. Okay, Shark Pup on YouTube asked, I'm currently restoring a 1972 Bronco in California. It just came out of paint. The biggest lesson I've learned so far, oh, this isn't a question, but this was good info. Biggest lesson I've learned so far, budget for 30% more, because that's what it's gonna cost. It's expensive. I'm $35,000 in new parts, $15,000 for paint, cost of the Bronco, engine rebuild, trans rebuild. Of course, I could have gone without vintage air, ProFlow, new paint job, digital cage, costly wheels and tires, etc. But I think it's important to know going into it that it's a major investment no matter what the approach. because once you start putting new parts on it, keeping old vent windows, original scuffed glass, or old door locking mechanisms feels silly. Super good wisdom there from Shark Pup. Thank you for your wisdom. The 72 Bronco in California, can't wait to see it. Looks like an awesome restoration. Yeah, I feel the same way. Like, I wanted to try to keep this as budget friendly as possible, but it hasn't happened because I just keep buying parts. And even like where I'm like, oh, I'll just, like, I'm reusing the stock radius arms and radius arm caps. And but there's part of me that it's like, oh man, I should go buy new radius arms. But they're just hunks of metal. Like, it's not, and they're in good shape. Or new knuckles. Like, so I'm trying to reuse a lot of stuff. But there's a lot of stuff that I'm buying new. Which is just kind of the case. It's how it goes. But I agree with Shark Pup. Definitely budget for 30% more as you're doing the build. It is expensive and it takes time. What am I, 2 years into this build? and there it is. So, yes, but good one. Roland Fontaine says, ironically enough, I'm shopping for wheels and tires today for my 1968 Luber that just received a 2.5-inch body lift, or 2.5-inch lift, no body lift. My existing 30 by 9.5 by 15 tires on stock rims just don't look right, so I was going to jump up to a 31 by 10.5 by 15. I found some 15-inch wheels, that must be a typo, to pair with the new tire, but they have a 4-inch backspace. Trying to figure out how that will look. Since you were explaining backspace offset today, I was hoping you could help out with a 4-inch backspace, move things in or out of my fenders. I currently have drum brakes all around. Can the backspace create fit problems or possible future disc upgrades? Any info? So, Roland, you've probably already bought new wheels and tires, so I apologize for the delay. But I thought this was a great question, and I don't totally know. I'm definitely not an expert on backspace and offset, but from what I can understand, so I have an 11-inch or a 10-inch rim wheel, and if I had 0 offset, that would mean that 5.5 inches in and 5.5 inches in on both sides, that's where the face or the back of the rim wheel would touch the front of not my knuckle, the hub, the front of the hub. I'm looking at my drum brake hubs. And so an 11-inch, there'd be a 5.5 inch, on both sides. So it'd be like a neutral, a 0 offset. So on my 75, I have an 11-inch rim, but I have a 4-inch backspace, which means, or 10-inch rim. I keep saying 11. I have a 10-inch rim, wheel, it's not a rim. I have a 10-inch wheel with a 4-inch backspace, which means that my offset is 1, positive. So positive means you're getting closer to the hub. Negative means you're getting further away from the hub. So I have a 1-inch positive offset. So if you measure on my wheel from the face, like the outside rim of the wheel in, it goes in 6 inches. Like, that's the measurement from the outside. From the inside, again, it would be 4 inches from the outside rim on the inside into where that face meets the hub. So hopefully that helps. And my wheels stick out Now I have 12.5-inch tires on there, right? 12.5-inch, I think so. And those stick out probably 1.5 to 2 inches on each side. So that doesn't help you. That doesn't help you rolling. But we've already talked about that. You've probably already bought new wheels. So I'm not helping you anyway. But maybe that'll help someone. And if let me know what you guys are running and kind of what the stick out is. And for you Luber guys, which if you don't know, Luber, lifted uncut Bronco, lifted uncut Bronco. That's what Luber is. For you Luber guys, let me know what you're running, offset and backspace, or just your offset, or just your backspace. So hopefully that helps you. Check the comments. I'm interested to see what else people are running. I'm interested, I know like Jay Patterson, a lot of you guys have met him. I did a video with him. He has a Luber and his, he wheels all the time. I think he has 33s. I think he has a negative offset. So no, I don't know. I'd be interested what Jay has. But he wheels all the time and his tire tucks up nicely under his fender. Scott Schwartz is another one with a Luber. So yeah, comment down below if you got lifted, uncut, or even unlifted, just a stocker uncut. And I'd like to know what tires, what offset you're running, if you are running any. All right, last one. I don't know the name of the CLL375 on YouTube said, the cast iron looking paint on the knuckle is just what I'm looking for. Could you tell me what brand and color it is? So it's basically this stuff. So on my knuckles, I didn't paint them black, which you don't have to paint everything black under your Bronco. It's kind of cool to have something that isn't. And so I painted it with this stuff called Steel It, S-T-E-L It. I'll put a link in the description below. I should have got the can. I have the can somewhere. But yeah, it's like a spray paint. Taped everything off. Taped off the front of the knuckle so that that is not painted. But yeah, painted it with that Steel It stuff. So it kind of has a cool, steel look to it. And it's just the natural, the color is just the steel. It's the gray iron kind of look. But yeah, so there you go. Questions for today. Q&A with John. Again, another thank you to Mr. Eric Wilkinson. Huge shout out to all those guys who are watching the podcast. And if you haven't yet, make sure to check out the episode with the Bronco horror stories. Man, I think that's my favorite episode. It was so fun. I just laughed the whole time because I'm like, and my jaw was open because I'm just like, these stories are crazy. And if you have more stories, email us at questions@thebroncast.com. We're going to do another one, like a Friday the 13th horror stories, Bronco horror stories. So let me know if you have any of those. And we'll probably do like a Valentine's Day one, like Bronco love stories. So definitely hit me up if you have a Bronco love story. Questions@thebroncast.com or NashvilleEarlyBronco@gmail.com. I check both of those. Or leave a comment because comments help all of my videos. So just go back through all my videos and just leave comments. I would love you for it if you did that. But no, seriously, got a little dirty today working on the Bronco some, cleaning up some. My plan this weekend and next week is to be working on the chassis. Next steps, putting the brakes in, brake lines, fuel tank, fuel lines. I'm actually going to put the old engine in place just to get fitment. and because it's taking up a bunch of space in my garage and I want to get it like situated. So hopefully in the next video, QA video, you'll see some progress on this thing, even though the progress on it I probably won't post that for a while. But there you go. Thank you guys so much for watching. Shoot me an email, leave a comment. I want to hear from you. See ya. Oops.